Hello, Richard from budgetguitarist.com. Let's get this out of the way. Most of what people call AI these days is not actually AI. It's actually just like machine learning, basically. It's being able to sort through massive amounts of data and find patterns and then generate content based on those patterns. As a professional web developer, ChatGPT is extremely useful to me when writing HTML, CSS, JavaScript, right? If I can't remember some syntax, it can give me great examples very quickly. If I don't understand a line of JavaScript, it'll explain it to me. Super cool. But for the sake of this video, I'm just going to dump all computer-assisted tech machine learning into the generic AI bucket. It's not accurate, but there's a bigger point I want to make. So let's look at 10 ways of using ChatGPT when writing lyrics for a love song. Number 1, find words that rhyme with a specific word. For example, the word hate. Number 2, give me 10 ideas for a love song lyric idea. Number 3, rewrite my second line with my fourth line so that they rhyme without changing the meaning. Number 4, generate rhymes that replace predictable words with more rarely used words. Number 5, analyze my lyric and generate a song title. Number 6, shorten each line in my lyric without changing the meaning. Number 7, rewrite my lyric to make it simpler. Number 8, rewrite every line to be shorter. Number 9, rewrite all my verses. And number 10, write a complete lyric for a love song with 8 syllables per line. In number 1, we're using AI the same way we'd use a dictionary. Most people would be okay with that. But by number 10, we've done nothing but provide a prompt. I think everyone agrees that you aren't writing a lyric at that point. And as of right now, if AI writes a whole lyric for you, you can't copyright it. If you don't think that professional songwriters aren't already using ChatGPT in these and similar ways, you don't understand the word business in music business. Professional songwriters write songs to pay their bills and feed their families. They're not arty-farty about it, right? Any tool that helps them write a song that gets sold is fair game. Side note. That's one of the reasons why so many modern hit songs have like 6 different writers, right? They go with whatever helps them sell a song. I once saw a demotivational poster that said, "Committees, because we're dumber together." There was a study where they asked a large group of people to guess the number of jelly beans in a jar. And when averaged, the number was pretty close to accurate. However, when they put people in groups to make the decision, guess what? The numbers were far less accurate. Please feel free to draw your own conclusions from that study. But how much AI help is too much? I mean, where's the line? Is it okay to have AI write one line in your lyric? If AI were a human, would one line be enough to share the songwriting credit? I recently watched an excellent video by Holly Exley called "I'm Losing My Art Job to AI, What I'm Doing About It." Link in the description. You should watch it. I'm paraphrasing, but she suggests that people will value real handmade art over AI art by showing the users the journey the artist goes on to create the art, right? So for a new song, an artist might basically document the process from writing the lyric to writing and recording the music, to mixing and mastering it, leading to the final song. Now, this has been done by lots of artists, but it's still kind of rare. None of my favorite modern bands do this. I mean, sometimes they shoot documentaries while making the album, but it's usually just snippets, along with footage of them eating dinner, shooting pool, going out drinking, etc. I love the idea of documenting a song. I've been thinking about doing something like that myself. I do believe that people are more attached to art, or objects for that matter, when there's a story behind it. I mean, the story is the emotional connection that humans need. When AI poops out a picture or a lyric for a song, there's no story. It's a computer-generated copy. Might be a great copy, but there's no story. You're guitar players, so here's a great comparison. Joe Bonamassa is probably the world's most famous collector of vintage electric guitars. But when you watch him talking about his favorite instruments, it's interesting. He always talks about the guitars that have a story. He loves the story that goes with the guitar. If I say, hey, I fed a prompt into the computer and here's what it came up with, who cares? Anybody can type a prompt. But if I say, I tried 10 different guitars to find the guitar that was the funkiest on this track, and I chose this Tele, well, you're going to be more likely to want to hear it. So getting back to the list. Say you record a video of yourself writing a song lyric. Okay, you set up your phone to shoot video, you work on the lyric for an hour, and then you edit the video. Would someone care if you asked AI for a rhyme for one word? I'm not sure. I mean, some people would. But at what point in time would somebody say, wait a minute, anybody can do that? Personally, if I'm going to document the songwriting process, I'm going to use a website like RhymeZone, and I wouldn't touch ChatGPT. The second you use AI, even a little bit, there's going to be people who won't like it. They're watching your video because they want that human connection, that story. They don't want to watch you ask a computer to solve your problem. I mean, some people might complain about using a website to find rhymes. I mean, I use one only when I get stuck. But I can certainly see a direct line between using a website to search for a rhyme versus using ChatGPT to search for a rhyme. I mean, the process is pretty similar behind the scenes. There's an elephant in the studio, so let's address Jumbo, shall we? If your song sucks, no one will care about your story. This approach will only work if you're good. And you get good by writing a whole bunch of bad songs until you start writing good songs. Okay, so I understand that good is subjective. So how do you know if your music is good? Well, it's good when people you don't know think it's good. That's not a perfect definition, but it'll do. The massive popularity of YouTube proves that humans like to watch other humans do things that they're good at. Okay, this is a great angle for artists, but it's also a great test to see if you're using too much tech. When using tech, ask if your fans would want to see you do this part of the process. Would they be interested, or would they be disappointed in you? I'm just exploring all these thoughts. I mean, I'm probably missing some important points, but even if I'm a little off the mark, I think these conversations are important. And if you have any thoughts about what I missed or what you think of AI as an assistant in the songwriting process, please leave a comment below. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you some future Friday at 5.